Thank you for joining us for the Year 10 Power to Perform evening. This is a shortened version of the evening that we ran in early September for Year 10 in 2021. Now, the key thing for success is that link between home and school. And so the first thing we did was talk through how important that is, particularly in terms of supporting those three key values at the school. So respect, resilience and success are absolutely essential to everything we want to do. We want your child at the end of their exams in 2023 to have achieved real success, but we recognise that resilience is vital to that, and so these are some of those key skills we'll be teaching throughout the year. Clearly you're watching this, and so it perhaps doesn't need saying, but we know that levels of parental engagement are consistently associated with children's academic outcomes. It is not about being wealthy, it is not about you knowing the child's course inside out and knowing all of their subjects yourself. It's not about giving up your own life to make sure your child gets through, but it's about showing an interest in what your child is up to and engaging with them in their learning. We also know the importance of attendance, and that figure on the screen there of 95% might look good and parents might well be pleased if their child's attendance is that high, but it really isn't good enough. We need to be aiming for higher than that. And the reason is that if you're in school 95% of the time, you're not in school for 5% of the time, and that adds up. That accounts, 5% accounts for half a day of lessons every 2 weeks. That would be 2 weeks across the whole year, and that's the same number of lessons in those 2 weeks as covered in one GCSE subject. So children are missing out. They're actually losing those opportunities for success through their non-attendance. So we need to make sure that that's important, and it's something that's encouraged from home as well. Teachers have to get through the specification in order that students can sit the exams, and they won't have time to revisit every topic in revision. A revision guide is no replacement for that original teacher input, so it's vital that students are in school every single day. We aim for 100%. Parental input takes a wide variety of forms, doesn't it? And help at home is vital, but keeping those lines of communication open too is also really important. If there's something going on you think we need to let us know about, please do get in touch, and likewise we will do the same with you. We also really value your attendance at parents' evenings. This year, again, they will be online, and it's great to see and hear you on those evenings, and it's great for your child to know that you're engaging with their learning, so please do attend. There will be several opportunities this year for you to get in touch with subject teachers on those evenings. We also would like to invite more parents to become governors, and if that's something you're interested in doing, please do get in touch. We recognise the huge amount of different roles that a parent has to play at home. There are many different hats, as you can see there in the image, from study buddy to go-between to project manager, to provide that emotional support, and even to be the banker. So, you know, it does not go unnoticed here about how hard it is to do all those different things. We will support through this, and we provide children with a toolkit to manage those different aspects that will lead to better performance. But what we do ask for is your support in these 10 areas: being a role model, helping them set goals, keeping them active, healthy eating, making sure they take time out. Believe it or not, some students do need telling, you must stop working now. Some might need the opposite message, but we need to make sure that they are relaxing and not putting too much pressure on themselves at key times. Making sure sleep is shown the importance it has. Too often we find children have stayed up very late playing on their Xbox, playing on their PlayStations, and are not getting that rest that they need. They're not unplugging. We're finding students are telling us that their phones are central, they're on their phones very, very late, and this is not particularly healthy, and it's not going to get them the success we all want for them. Staying cool and calm, providing that belief, even if at the back of your mind you're thinking, I wasn't actually very good at that subject myself. rather than writing it off for your child too, supporting them, tell them that they can do it, and there's that last one there, be supportive. So anything you can do to help with that will help us here at school. Could you please make sure, if you haven't already done so, that you have got the My Ed app? It links to the #1 contact that we have for your child, and it will show you their attendance, their achievements, any behaviour issues, and it is how we report to you as well. We also ask that you download the Show My Homework app. It's now known as Satchel 1. If they tell you they haven't got any homework, you can always go on there and check. I'm sure they'll be delighted to hear that. In terms of student support, the #1 contact for you is the form tutor, and they should be able to help in most instances, or certainly provide some direction. Miss Howell is the head of Year 10, a fantastic point of contact too. And then we have more senior staff in Miss Mason, the assistant head of Key Stage 4, and our assistant principal, Mrs Hunt. Subject teachers too might well be a good point of contact, and you can find their names on the most recent report. Now, the last couple of years have been particularly difficult in schools, with students being in and out because of COVID or closed altogether in some cases. So these are the things we're doing to help bridge gaps. We're going to keep it positive. It's not about what they can't do, it's about what they can't do yet. So students will find that there's lots of regular quizzing and testing, low stakes, so that it's easy for them to demonstrate their knowledge or the things they're not sure of. And that allows us to put in place different approaches to fill any gaps. And we're also going to keep the positives we've learned from working from home and working virtually. The Goldilocks principle here is what teachers are aiming for. So it's not too difficult, it's not too easy, it's just right. And they're going to sort of take the temperature of where students are at through those low stakes quizzes and testing this year. We're also thinking about the order in which we deliver things for students, rather than a big 6-week chunk of work followed by another 6-week big chunk of work that we don't come back to it till the end of the year. Students are going to find that there's much more interleaving, and they're going to be revisiting topics, triggering that long-term memory, and hopefully achieving greater success as a result. We're also making sure we maximise time in class. Sometimes we're having to get through stuff a little quicker if time has been pressured previously, and so whilst marking will still take place, whole class feedback will allow the teacher to see what the key issues and key strengths are across the group, and this is an approach we're taking across the school. We're also going to continue with Microsoft Teams. Huge steps forward were made during the different lockdowns, doing live lessons from home, but we're going to still use it if kids have to self-isolate, and also for setting assignments, tests and quizzes. So expect to hear more about Microsoft Teams this year still. Now, what's planned? Well, Year 10 will be more intense than Year 9, and the following year, Year 11, will be even more intense than that. So we have a plan of what takes place. One of the things we talk to students about is the idea of a race. They are in a race with all of their peers nationally, not just the people in their classroom, not just the people in their year group, but there's a couple of 100,000 people their age across the UK who are all involved in getting the highest possible grades. And it is a race. There was, and this picture really sums it up quite nicely. There's ups, there's downs, people have to be resilient, they have to work out what to do and how to handle it if things don't go their way. But they really are competing against students nationally to get those highest grades. In terms of key dates, you can pause this and make a note of any of the key things that are important to you. We've got there the parents' evenings, as I've mentioned, they're going to be online. Preparation for examinations, we have an end of Year 10 examination season, and you've got there the dates for work experience as well. Bit of new GCSE language for you, things you might not have come across. One of the things we use is called a personal currency plan. We diagnose what students' issues might be in a subject, and that might be through a test or an exam. And you can see there a French example of things they might not have done well. Then we tell them when the therapy is, so how is it they're going to get help on those areas, and then we retest to make sure that the second time they've got it. There's no point doing this unless we retest. So personal currency plan you'll come across. Personalised learning checklists are also really important. This breaks down each GCSE course by the different strands, the different things that the students need to know, and they are RAG rated, so red, amber and green. When it comes to revision, this is brilliant because students can concentrate on the amber and red areas as opposed to the green things that they know really, really well. It helps focus students and it's going to help them ensure they've got all the knowledge for their exam success. We'll also later this year be introducing them to walking, talking mocks. This is a type of examination where students sit in an exam room and a teacher at the front, a subject specialist using an overhead projector, will go through the paper, a similar paper to the one they're going to be doing either later or the next day, showing them the pitfalls, showing them the areas that might well be something that requires more thought to make sure of exam success. We've tried this for the last few years with our GCSE and A-level students, and it's been really, really popular. So look out for these in the summer of 2022. Our math and English teachers also have put together a couple of slides for things that parents can do and what they're doing during year 10. I'm going to click through these slides and you can read these, they're quite detailed for yourselves. Our Power to Form evening finished with an overview of the key things we'd like parents to take away from the evening. And again, we would like you to pause this and give this a read through and complete those actions on there to help your child achieve success in year 10.